Well, everybody, I've been trying to do this video now since I deleted the one I had done that I was going to put on YouTube. I deleted it by accident. Okay, I can kick myself. It was 18 minutes. And not a car around, maybe two. Now I'm getting cars all over the place. Trying to frustrate me, see? That's what's happening, trying to frustrate me. But I'm going to get this video out. I'm going to get this video out. So I'm enjoying the crickets and the sun, full moon, perfect temperature, not too cold, not too hot, just right. And as I reflected, I felt a lot of anxiety around me. I felt someone crying, which makes me cry. When I feel somebody crying or is upset, I can feel the heart rate. My heart rate changes. I'm one of those people that when I know that I have to get stuff done, I get anxious, and I know that about myself. So I had to get this done because these people, I had touched them 2 days ago, and I knew that I had to get back on the pulse because they're interested in changing their city. So I had to get down there. So I went ahead and went to Costco's. Didn't take any IT with me, didn't want a phone, didn't want iPad or anything. Sometimes it's just best to leave it behind. Went into Costco's, met this girl walking in, cute little girl, pretty cute, dumping garbage sacks. Went back in, was going down one aisle, and there she was again, almost bumped into her. Came back around after going in and grabbing some eggs, and bumped into her again. She goes, my goodness, that's 3 times we bumped into her. And when I was talking to the lady that was giving some samples out that was there, and I looked at her and I said, well, that's 3 times, right? That's 3. 3, 3. I said, that's an angel number, 333, or there's 3 of us here, and 3 times, it's 33 at least. I said, it has a meaning. She said, I'm going to look that up when I go home. We're standing there, and I said, well, there's a message there. I said, I'm supposed to be here for somebody for some reason. I said, this is why this happened. God's placed me here. I said, so something's going on here. I said, we'll figure it out here in a minute. So, well, we're all about God. We know that. We're about Christ energy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have come together in synchronicity. And the lady had an infinity sign with some words on it, tattooed on her arm with a date for 2017 on there. It's the day her husband died. And I looked at her and I seen sorrow on her. And I said, So I asked her, I said, you doing okay? She said, yes. Yep, I'm doing great. I said, what's that infinity sign about? And she goes, oh, that's my husband's writing. That's my husband there. I said, he's passed. And she says, yep, he's passed. And I said to her, I said, when did he pass? She said, 2017. I went over and looked at the tattoo. She's sad because he died 11/1 of 2017. He committed suicide. He didn't tell anybody. He didn't want anybody to know. That's 3 people in 1 week that I've met that committed suicide. Family members committing suicide. So I gave her a great big hug. We started talking, and I noticed a lady across the way with Life Water Church on her shirt, t-shirt. And I said, isn't this interesting? I said, we're drawn here together, and look what we got. We got a congregation right here. We're all about Christ standing here. We're here to lift each other up. And we started talking, and I told the people from the church about my new YouTube channel, and we spoke about Christ and everything, and we had a good time. So I went and got my stuff, my items that I needed to get, and went and got the little chicken bakes that I could take to my little homeless people. And as I drove up, Sean, my Desert Storm vet, was the only one there at the time. So I sat down and started talking to Sean, and I said, well, how you been, man? He's happy to see me. And we started having the conversation that I expected to have with him the next time that I got to meet him. You know, people only let you see the surface of them when you first meet them. That's why you got to get the pulse. You got to go back. If I would have waited one more day, I would not have gotten his pulse. He would have already given up. He would have already given up. When you start energizing people and you give them hope, and they start to feel a little bit of faith, you can't wait too long in between times to keep the hope up, right? So you have to go back. So I made sure I went back because I know there's enough homeless people down there that aren't on drugs that we can pull in together to start the community building up, the foundation that it needs to build up to start making the changes in that area of that town. So these people aren't profiled anymore as losers, troublemakers. And they're trying to work. Sean has a job. Tries to go to work all the time. It's a hit and miss for him. He has a little bit of a record, one that should be expunged. Prosecuting attorney never even had the case happen, and they left that case on his report, and it got dismissed. It doesn't make sense to me why his record is still there. There's a lot of stuff in our judicial system I'm learning. Why our people get so down. That's why we need to be up. We need to be building these people up, showing them love and kindness. We need a Sean Fouch to come out here. Do a revival in Conroe. Conroe Lake. There's a lake here we could do baptisms at too. Sorry about that. So Sean and I got to talking about pulling people in and having an afternoon with just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and water. And we get a bunch of people down there together that are homeless, that are willing to work. Start pulling people in. Give them hope. Give them prayer. One by one, we can build an army. One by one, we can make change. But one person can't do it. It has to take many hands and many voices to make change. Can't be one person doing it all by themselves. Sean agreed with me, and he knows he's in the army. It's what the army teaches them. You have to trust each other and believe in each other to be able to build, right? Build any relationship. Got to talk and communicate. That's why I knew I had to get back down there so I didn't lose that energy of my relationship with these people, to keep giving them hope, to have faith, to believe in themselves, to know that they're the ones that have to do the change. Go within, look at themselves, understand that, they have Christ's light. It only takes one of them to start magnetizing everybody. Everybody becomes magnetic, right? Positive, right? Positive, positive, positive. Through love and kindness and compassion and empathy. Through the Christ light. Bring us all together. Heck, we could have some fun doing this. It doesn't have to be drudgery. But you have to have many people and many voices. And I may have to have some people come to help me. And I found out also, if I had my nonprofit, I could get free food from Costco's every day. And I didn't realize that. It's a thought. May just have to do that. In the meantime, I got to talk about Christ's energy in Sean, teaching him about the oneness of us. All of us, we're all one. Soul and spirit's one, right? We're spirit. We're all connected. We're one with everything, one with the trees, the grass, the soil. This is how we make positive change. We send love. Send love. Met another young man down there, and he's working. He's 18. Lives in a hotel down there. Doesn't have a home to go to. I think he lied to me tonight, but I went ahead and gave him some chicken bakes because I could tell he's hungry. Believed in God, though. Knew some stuff. I told him about my YouTube channel. He said he's going to check it out. And I told him, thank you. I said, I'm a little crazy, though. I said, you got to understand, I'm crazy. And he said, that's okay. He says, you got a pretty smile and you got a big heart. I said, well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I said, don't ever give up. Never give up on yourself, and don't get involved in drugs. Don't ever get involved in drugs. I said, make sure of that, because that'll ruin your life. And he said he'd like to see me again and get involved with what I had planned. And I told him that would be great. I said, you'll just have to come down. I said, I'll start getting cards out there to everybody if we're going to do this. I don't think it's going to be an if. I know we're going to do it. I can feel it. God's telling me to get it done. And if it's Christ within me, I'm telling me to get it done. Because there's a lot of unfair justice happening in Conroe, Texas. Our judicial system has to be shook up. And I think, God's coming anyways, right? That's what I keep hearing. And we, the people who understand what's going on about the white light and the changes that's going on around us, need to inform those that don't understand. So that's what I'm starting to do. I'm slowly but surely trying to get them to understand that we have to be positive. We have to be positive, love, kindness. He agreed. Sean agreed. This other young man agreed. He agreed with me about it. He says, I wish it could always be like that. And I go, well, it can be. We just have to learn to start trusting and talking to each other. So none of us have taken responsibility for what we've allowed to happen. And I said, there's some of us that want to make it happen and change our world to a loving place. And our world is begging for it. The mother is begging for it. She's begging for it. So my army guy wants to join ranks. What made me feel good, I have a guy that feels like he's at the bottom of a barrel. I'm going to give him a stick. I'm going to give him the big stick. I'm going to see if we can get it somehow, some way, put him in a position of a leadership role to where he can take part of the reins so he has purpose and he can rebuild that man that he lost when he was a young man and when he was in the service. And see if he can take on a responsibility long enough to help rebuild his city and get people off the streets. I'm going to see if he's willing to join me in my podcast coming up. I have 2 guests coming next week. Make positive change, loving change. We're gonna build an army, God's army. We're gonna build a white light army. Gonna round up our people. Gonna round up our saints. We're gonna build an army. We're gonna change this place. We're gonna capture all the love we can. We're gonna change this world. We're gonna change this land. We're gonna love us back into existence. We're gonna make this world our Garden of Eden. We're gonna build an army of saints. We're gonna build this army of love. On that note, I love you all. I want you to have a blessed evening. Go out and look at the stars. Enjoy the moon. Meditate. I'm going to go meditate. Actually, I'm going to meditate out here. I want you all to know I love you. I love every single one of you. Never lose the pulse. Never lose the pulse. Keep communication going. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Love. Be blessed. Be blessed. And may you rest. Good night now.